Hello, I'm going to comment the third game from the London Open between Yue Wen and Minseong Kim. Something to say about Yue Wen. He is a young boy who wishes to become professional in China, which, as you suppose, it's a super tough task. But from what I have seen in this game, he has good chances of succeed. This kid is really strong. So first of all, this is a move that greatly influenced the nature of this game. It's somehow a version of the mini Chinese Fuseki style, and we have to be very careful when we approach this kind of shape. Basically what black is waiting is that, similar with Chinese Fuseki, the worst mistake for white would be to enter and get under attack, because black has a stone where white should extend, so this is quite bad. And the space is so narrow that if you enter with this kind of move, again, you just don't have enough space here. This is even much worse than in the Chinese Fuseki style. Black is expecting white to enter here, but white should not fall in a trap. And it's very interesting to see the AI feedback here. Basically, what you want to do in such a situation when black played very tight like this, it's to play Tsuke, which normally would be a little bit bad locally, but in this situation is really proper. So the idea is if black answer with Hane, you want to play like that. So the sequence can continue like this and white can extend, so it would be a local solution of the situation. But now we notice that black is unhappy because the extension stone is not in the right place. This is too narrow and black will be lacking liberties. So when you play this one, if you try Hane on the outside, then white can play in Sansan. The correct way for black would be to just not be towards the outside. White cannot really play Sansan, so playing this and aiming at Sansan is normal. And after this, we have all kind of variations, but mostly based on this kind of moves. White can go out and separate the stone at c12. Of course, black will want to continue the attack, so the timing of everything is very important. Also, white can push once and then come back to this. Something like that. There are many variations, but just to give you a hint of what is going to happen later, it's not good to approach this side now because it's very narrow. In Fuseki we have to take care of the distance between stones. So basically this is the smallest area that we want to play right now on the board. We have the top area, the right side, the lower side, and the left side. If we approach, this is bigger than this. So as you notice, E is the smallest, and it would be a bad mistake to fall in black's trap and try to enter now. Normally the largest area is B, so white would be tempted to make a shimari of himself, like a corner enclosure, something like this. Would be very tempting. Now white took this side also, which is also extremely large, so basically those two sides are the biggest on the board and they are Mii. Now naturally black comes to approaching the corner. White chose to play this Joseki. Black can extend the fourth line, but also third line is a tight way of playing. This is more like looking forward to play this kind of move and make the shape stable. Also, of course, this extension. So now if we look again at which is the largest side on the board, we notice there are two. There are the top side and the lower side. But on the top, white is strong with the stones. So this makes it a little bit uninteresting, and because of this particular shape on the left side, we have the move at A that we actually want to use. The top side is not so interesting right now, which means that the natural move would be to play on the lower side, and this is what the AI would suggest. In the game, white chose this side, which is also very big, and this move is stressing very much the invasion at A. White is aggressively looking at this. But for black to defend, if black defends like this, white can get another large point. So this would be big lack of fighting spirit for black, because we cannot really attack the three stones. If we jump inside, white comfortably extends. And black will not defend here. This is the fighting spirit that is absolute rule in Fuseki. If the opponent take one large point, you should take another. And again, in this situation, these 2 points were more or less Miai. Let's say if you play here and extend with something like that, now it's absolutely mandatory for black to take the right side. In terms of, let's say, professional thinking, what happens until now, it's absolutely normal. Of course, black would play Keima, but this Ogeima is a personal choice. So far so good. So far the Fuseki is balanced. White took a very slight minus by playing this move instead of the lower side. But now invading, it's a little bit too early and a little bit too much. At this stage, white being over aggressive, black starts to get advantage. So jumping out, it's a really good move. This looks like a thin shape, but it's well connected because black can always Nozoki in center here. And it continues trying to make trouble here, which is a little bit overdoing things. And this gives black some advantage in this game. Not a big advantage, but black is getting close to 1 point, being 1 point ahead. But now a move that really defines this game is this ambitious block at M17. Obviously this comes with some dangerous cutting points, and black has a lot of courage to play this move, but the analysis with AI shows that this is an overplay, and the correct move would be to play something like this. You know, if white insists and try to take really big this kind of stone, black's local continuation would be to close the side like that. And this move is looking forward to playing this Sagari here, which threatens the corner. This time white cannot go out, so the threat on the corner is very serious, and then connecting with B. This would be, let's say, the normal move for black, the normal way of approaching everything. Let's say if we play Kosumi and white play this kind of move, then black this time can play something in the center to always check the shapes. This kind of shape look okay to me. This is very important direction of play here, because black needs to take care of his group, but also the Moyo on the left side makes a pretty big difference. We just have to make sure that we don't get cut, which I suppose it's okay this time. If you look carefully, I mean, the Kosumi move is exactly in the right place to protect all the cuts, so it's fine. Okay, so this move, this is really inviting white to some crazy fighting. It's a very ambitious move, so if white doesn't react, black will soon get an advantage. This is what happened in the game actually, so in a way this game was decided in Fuseki by this move, because white reacted by just playing what is a normal looking move to capture the black stone, but immediately black took the advantage to play this move, and white again answered with a slack move in the corner. Playing like this and getting his right to play S13, black already recovered. So the idea is that if white wants to punish this move, the best timing is to do it now, and it's not easy. It leads to pretty complicated fighting, but the Tesuji would be to start directly cutting from this side. If black pushes out, white will continue cutting. In this kind of fight, this is very complicated still, so I will show you the variation, but it's very long and complicated. This is one variation, there are so many, it's not easy to react here, but I would like to show you a little bit the beauty of AI's reading. Up to here, black makes sure that he can start a call later in the corner. The group on the top is dying, so black has to come back and protect. This is a local Tesuji, much better than crawling underneath. And then white has the time to come back and close black inside, which is really tough. So in this fight, black is already something like 3 points behind, which is a lot. I mean, in a professional world, if you fall behind more than 2 points, the game is almost finished. To continue, black has to connect here, and another very powerful way of playing with AI, insisting and capturing this stone. This would be not so easy for many players to realize. Now coming back to fix the shape here, and this is completely connecting the white stones. Black should avoid the cut, white gets to connect underneath. The fight continues with something like this. What is funny about the shape is that by playing like this, white managed to avoid the ko in the corner, because now basically this is a double ko. Let's say black plays on ko threat, take back. Now white can play here and initiate the double ko. Basically, black can never win this ko. So it will end with something like that, which means that in this shape, white not only continues attacking black and stealing the eye base, but with this very smart capture, white managed to indirectly protect the corner as well. This is an absolutely brilliant sequence that Katago provided. A bit long, but very, very interesting to analyze. So coming back to this, we see that this overambitious move, if we don't punish soon enough, this will become a very efficient move. And that's what's happening in the game. I mean, white didn't jump on black's weaknesses. This move is slack. This move should feel the liberty. It's much better to play like this because we expected some fight to still happen. It's still important. Now that black got so much profit locally here, black should come back to defend the cutting point, which is still severe. So something like this would be proper. After this, white is behind a few points. And black got a very good opening, but somehow I think black maybe felt white's unwillingness to start cutting there, and he's pushing things again. This is a wonderful point locally, but the cutting point on the top is still a problem. So, for example, some other very interesting variation here, it's when white play here, normally black should come back to defend. If black insists here, some other crazy variation that is nice to see. If we try to cut with white, it's too much. I didn't look carefully until now, but obviously we can aim at this kind of ladder style. Black will easily capture some white stones, for example, this type of move. If we play something like that, the 3 stones are dead already. Start from cutting and then play here. So black can capture the 3 stones in center. Anyway, this would be totally game over. Like this. So against this Tetsuji, white should capture and then black can make shape to escape. Expect something like that. But if black read that far, black made a good preparation with n4. His stones are more or less connecting in the center here on the lower side. Somehow the fight can continue. The white also has to somehow react. For example, the cutting point here, black refused to defend, so the cutting point here is still very severe. For example, now we can keep this tough vital point, so for black to play like this and connect would be terrible shape. So this would be a great success for white. Probably black will not answer at all. So when we play something like that, black can try to take advantage in the center. If white come back to prepare for the big cut, black will just sacrifice everything on the right and fight back in the center. So it's still complicated, but I think you are getting the idea. Black somehow pushed around white by playing an over-ambitious move with m17, and somehow white didn't think to counterattack. Maybe he's estimating that the fight is not good for him, but allowing the shape to stay like that on the board is just in black's advantage. Because of course, compared to A, it was much more profitable later for black to play at B. So if we don't punish quickly, we will never get to punish this shape. So white decided to play something like that, which locally, if we want some continuation, we can continue with something like that, connecting the stones and looking forward to the move at A, which would aim at separating the black stones here. This white continuation here, this is really strange, because somehow it gives the thickness to black. If black simply play like that, now black can become very strong on the side and also in the center, and white manage some life, but it's a rather small life on the left side, and all black stones now are getting really strong, which of course makes the cutting point here less likely to happen. So this choice with white, I don't think it's a good one. White is playing too territorial, but ignoring the center area and the strength of stones. In the game, black played this, which is usually stylish. Black wants to avoid the seemingly bad move at c5, but then this also allows white to make different fighting, so this variation can happen. The ladder is not an option, so white wants to continue the fight like that. If we block, white can play here and make Miai of capturing 2 stones and the Geta in the center, so black has to react. And then white gets a pretty big corner life. And another interesting variation here is black's attempts to play here. If white answers, then black would be able to play this in Sente, and after this, even this move will be Sente. So here white will have no choice but to sacrifice the 3 stones, but before sacrificing we should play one more Kikashi. Still have time to play this, and now we should go for this variation. It will continue like this, which gives white a very solid corner. Of course, this means we are prepared to sacrifice 3 stones. Black can capture those stones, which is a rather good point here. I suppose white will continue with a move that has been in the waiting for a long time on the top side. This implies some risk that black shouldn't take. This is just too good to be true. After this becomes a strange exchange. I wouldn't be happy to have this exchange A with B played in such a situation. Now black's stone at N4 is in a very powerful position as well. So overall, black's Moyo strategy seems to work perfectly if white goes for this. In the game, strange enough, white didn't Hane and went anyway for this, which gives black again the chance to play this and Hane and revert to what should have been. Black decided to play this, and even now black should Hane maybe, but he wanted to play very strong in the center. Black is still ahead, but this was a little bit slack, so now white can come back to the fight. Again, this kind of move, it would be proper style to try to counter-attack and start cutting there, and always against this we should be prepared for this. Defending like that would be way too slack. So now a new fight starts, but black has just built a huge thickness, so white entering here, this is not so easy to handle. And probably around here white should go for some quick sabaki of the stone and ignore the stone at 04. So this is quite ambitious from white to keep a strong shape here, and also white even says that he will attack the black stones, but this is not really the reality. Here black can press. For example, this would be a 1 continuation. If black keeps pressing like that, white's weakness is still apparent, and on the right side there are now many weaknesses that black is looking forward to, so we don't even know where to defend first. Probably this kind of move, it would be wise to play here to avoid an invasion, but this white group is still pretty weak. And black decided a little bit more cautious approach with this jump. And here white went for making shape, so Nozoki and jumping out, so this seems like a very good flow of stones. But in fact, this Nozoki here, it's a pretty big adventure because black can counter-attack. If black plays something like that, for white it's not easy to cut here. There are many weaknesses, the cutting point of that P3. So black can put up a good fight with this kind of counter-attack. Actually, the AI shows that just connecting is losing some points, so black had a pretty good advantage, but now after connecting here the game is kind of restarting. Black is still slightly ahead, but white has a chance of recovery. So here black decided to play this move, which is invading and aiming at all kinds of weaknesses in white shape. And here white should play with focus on the outside, kind of Kosumi, trying to take care of his group. This group is still very weak. Attempting to connect with the stones on the other side would be amazing. In the game, white played this exchange, which is basically helping black to have very clear shape. And white has the notion that white is attacking black, which is completely wrong considering the situation. White is very thin. Black looks like a group without eyes, but in fact black is not weak at all. So here, cutting through the shape, it's very powerful, and white should defend with Nobi, because if we Hane, I think white was still in the mood, I'm just closing black in and killing him, but this cut coming here, it's creating a lot of trouble for white. For example, against this, black can play this kind of Nozoki connect, if something like this happen, black looks like cotton in danger, but in fact it's white who is in more danger. Black will make an easy sabaki. For example, this Hane and Kaketsugi here immediately start to make shape. Black can, in this particular shape, just jump here and look forward to make semi-eye with the white on the right side. While it's complicated, this fight very clearly in black's advantage. I think white was a little bit daydreaming here. Even now the cut would be dangerous, so maybe white has to play this move instead of blocking. So with each exchange around here, white continues to lose points, and the game is becoming better and better for black. At this stage, white's only chance would be to play this kind of move and go very quickly for capturing the two cutting stones. This means allowing black to attack powerfully here, but white will leave. I mean, against this we have the typical Tesuji here, so white is not in such a big danger in the corner. With this move, this looks like a Tesuji, but in fact when black play like this, white lost Komi or something like that. Now we are really in trouble. If we try to connect on this side, black will defend. But after that, it's not black who is in trouble, it's white who is in really big trouble. Normally we have to come back to protect here. Also, black's eye shape is very easy, and white cannot really resist against this. Maybe we can cut even from inside. Trying to resist here, it's looking very dangerous for white. Maybe just here. So this shows that in case black wants to save his group, he can do it by capturing some white stones. So here white insisted, but when black captures the 3 stones, at this stage black is more than 10 points ahead. So this is absolutely terrible result for white. White pretended to attack black, but in fact provided black with a lot of territory. Now the corner is weak, and black is looking forward to enter underneath at A. And we have cutting points in the center, and basically white has no territory there. Having to defend on this side and allowing black to protect his weakness, in the end white completely failed to exploit black's weakness with the move at M17, and also completely failed to attack anything. Black is rock solid now on the board, and white still has a lot of trouble. So from this point on, the game is quite easy for black. I would say that black should play from this side and start attacking like this. This move is a little bit strange because the Nozoki Sente, so it's just jumping where white has a cut. But I feel that black is toying a little bit with white. He felt some weaknesses. White is being careful about getting cut himself, and somehow white really doesn't like fighting. He likes to make territory. We could see that with the sequence on the left side. So now black is psychologically taking a big advantage of this. In this sequence, black really wants to save everything because there is still a cutting point, but this exposes black to this type of move. Now if you look at the white group, white is almost alive. We have an eye here, we have already an eye at B, and the possibility to capture with C. Protecting the 5 stones there, it's actually small. This is like Yose because it doesn't really affect the strength of stones, and we should not forget that black has the Ko on the first line. So white's Nozoki here, I think white is not sure that black will answer, but psychological move. Black normally should go on the outside and fight there. If we look at how big is this kind of move, black will be able to play this kind of move, and anyway around here this will come pretty soon because white wants to use this kind of Nozoki at R6, so the liberties will be filled there. And after this, if white wants to finish the capture, white cannot really fight the Ko. White will need to play here. So then we need to calculate how much territory did we give to white. We have the 5 stones, 8 points, around 18 points, with the possibility to capture at N14 and the Ko left behind, let's say something like 20 points. So this is a 20 points Yose move, but playing where the stones are weak on the large space is more important than connecting. Black lost something like 2 points by connecting, which is not small. This shows very clearly that just protecting some stones like this is not the way we should play Go, but I think black is feeling comfortably ahead, and indeed he's more than 10 points ahead. So at this stage black is slacking down a little bit. For example, it would be more normal to connect like this. Against the cutting point, black can just answer in this fashion and everything is fine in the corner. So black decided one more time to play very solid. And black is taking care of his only weak group, also keeping his territory, and overall white is behind. Maybe white didn't realize the overall situation when he sacrificed the 3 stones, or maybe he did, but at this point black is just really comfortably ahead. And this jump is taking care of his weak group while hunting some weaknesses, for example this kind of placement in white's shape on the top. So white reacts by defending, but black has a very strong attack, very profitable attack towards the corner, and playing Sagaria loses a lot of points because black can take advantage in this fashion. White will capture 2 stones here, but overall white lost a lot of points here. So now black is something like 15 points ahead, which is a lot. If black wanted to just finish the game now, he could play, this kind of exchanges in Sente and then come back to protect the corner here, and black is really comfortably ahead, something like 15 points. In the game, black decided to go for capturing the stone at f5. Somehow it's important for white also to play this kind of exchange early, because later maybe black will not answer. And around here we can see again the fighting power of black. White tried to hane, but immediately black cut. The order of moves is like really perfect for black, so with exception of a few over-ambitious moves, I think black really played a perfect game, and we can see how strong is this player. I mean, to play most of the blue AI moves until very late in the game, this is a really very impressive feat. Well, that's about it. The game followed with white trying some stuff, but nothing really works. Black is being very cautious about everything, especially this kind of Nozoki white answer in the wrong way, allowing black to now hunt the entire white group. So black is easily making I shape, but it's more than that. Black is hunting white, so at this stage I think white is just desperate and losing hope. Well, now connecting here would be killing the white group, so normally white has to do something on the outside, but white could not accept, so maybe this is the resignation scene. Anyway, at this point when black comes back to cut, white is dying on the top, so the game finishes in a spectacular way. But in fact this game was finished a long time ago. When exactly? Around here white sealed his fate by blocking and losing all the stones like this. White completely sealed the game, is behind more than 10 points. And the moment when white took the decision to play something like b4 and allow black to become strong in the center, it's another crucial moment in this game. But basically white lost this game after the move at m17 because he didn't have the courage to fight back. So in the end, black's overplay with m17 became an efficient play after black managed to connect his stones. Okay, so this would be my commentary. I hope you enjoyed it. Certainly, I think this young boy Yue Wen will become professional in China. He's an extremely strong player with very, very good potential for the future. So thank you for watching. See you next time.